a lot of chilling and shocking information during that news conference.
Chilling to say the least, Ron and Reka. The man in charge of Texas's Department of Public Safety saying mistakes were made, and we learned 3 big bombshells. The first, there were 19 cops in that hallway inside of the school for more than 45 minutes before they got a master key to unlock the classroom door. The second bombshell, while those 19 cops were in that hallway, kids from inside that classroom were calling 911, begging the police to come in. And the third, who made the call? It was the incident commander on scene, the police chief of Uvalde Consolidated ISD. The DPS director says it was him who told officers not to go into the classroom because he believed the gunman was barricaded inside and children were no longer at risk. Today, for the first time, the director saying that was the wrong decision.
For the benefit of hindsight, where I'm sitting now, of course it was not the right decision. It was the wrong decision, period. There's no excuse for that. But again, I wasn't there, but I'm just telling you, from what we know, we believe there should have been an entry at that as soon as you can.
What we also learned was the timeline of 911 calls, and we want to walk you through them now. The first 911 call from a student was at 12:03 from room 112. That same student calls back at 12:10 to say multiple people are dead. Then she calls back at 12:13 and again at 12:16. That's when she says 8 to 9 students are still alive. At 12:19, a different caller from room 111 is on the phone with 911. At 12:21, 3 gunshots are heard over that call. At 12:36, the first student who called 911 calls back. The operator asks her to stay on the line but be quiet. The student says he shot the door. At 12:43, the student says, "Please send the police now." At 12:46, the student says she can hear the police next door. At 12:47, she begs again, "Please send the police now." At 12:50, shots are fired and heard over the 911 call. At 12:51, there's a loud commotion heard over the call as officers start evacuating the surviving children. What we also learned was the timeline of those 911 calls that you just heard. Ron and Reka, a lot of information given at this press conference, but bottom line, the director of DPS saying this is not active shooter training protocol. This is not how we are trained, and mistakes were made.
Oh, difficult information to listen to today. It's like we're all reliving the nightmare every day. More information comes out, and it's hard to take in.
Yeah, this is different from what we heard just 24 hours ago.
And it keeps changing. It keeps changing. All right, thank you so much, Grace.
Mistakes that cost lives.
All right, thank you, Grace. At today's briefing, we also found out investigators are going through camera video to learn more about what happened and when. Investigative reporter Cheryl Mercedes with the newest timeline of events.
Surveillance video from Robb Elementary School, investigators say, show the terror that unfolded. Texas DPS Director Colonel Steven McCraw says at 11:27 a.m., a camera shows a teacher standing at a door that was propped open. That was just 1 minute before the suspect crashed into a ditch near the school.
The teacher runs to the room 132 to retrieve a phone, and that same teacher walks back to the exit door, and door remains propped open.
At 11:30, someone called 911 to report there was a crash and a man with a gun. McCraw says a school district officer responded.
Sped to what he thought was the man with a gun to the back of the school, what turned out to be a teacher and not the suspect.
At 11:31, the suspect reached the last row of cars in the school parking lot and began shooting outside of the school. At 11:33, the suspect entered the building through the unlocked door and went into a set of connected classrooms.
He shot more than 100 rounds based on the audio evidence at that time, at least 100 rounds.
2 minutes later, 3 Uvalde police officers entered the building.
Went directly to the door, and 2 received grazing wounds at that time from the suspect while the door was closed.
From 11:37 to 11:44, DPS says the shooter continued firing rounds in the classroom. At 11:51, a police sergeant and U.S. Border Patrol agents arrived. 12 minutes later, more officers entered the hall.
And there were as many as 19 officers at that time in that hallway.
At 12:15, border tactical team members arrived. At 12:21, the suspect fired at the door. Officers moved down the hallway. And nearly 30 minutes later, officers breached a classroom door with keys they got from the janitor and killed the suspect. Colonel McCraw says the gunman had purchased 1,657 rounds of ammunition. Investigators found a total of 60 magazines, 58 at the school and 2 at the suspect's home. Back to you.